despite the short notice for today's meeting, you made yourself available. I recall that last few weeks ago, on the directives of His Excellency the Governor of Cross River State, Professor Beneficiaries, who directed that immediately the Ministry of Agriculture should commence the implementation of the poultry value chain in a bid to empower poultry farmers in Cross River State. We are also aware that there have been a lot of interventions from the state and federal government, interventions on the appeals projects, where over 1,000 farmers, youths and women in Cross River State were involved. Out of the 1,700 farmers who were trained by the appeals projects and are being empowered under the World Bank and federal government, partnering with the state government, that over 700 of that 1,700 beneficiaries are within the poultry value chain cluster, which is which is a key cluster to the government of Cross River State. You are quite aware that the state government have established an ultra-modern poultry farm in Cross River State that is meant to create employment for the youths and also create an income to the farmers in Cross River State. You are also aware that the state government has also established an ultra-modern chicken processing factory referred to as a processing factory that is to uptake over 21,000 birds daily. With this huge investment the state government put on ground, the value chain is almost completed. The state government has also established a very big feed mill in Cross River State here. So employment that will be created under the poultry value chain in Cross River State, by the present government of Professor Beneficiaries is something you cannot find anywhere in Nigeria. That a value chain under poultry value chain is complete. Farmers will be in the farm to cultivate maize. They will move the maize to the maize and soya beans. They will move the maize and soya beans to the feed mill that is being provided, established by the government. Feed mill the feed mill will also produce a meal, the feeds that will feed all the poultry farmers, and the reserve of what we make with poultry farmers will be used in feeding the state-owned poultry farm. Even under the World Bank project of appeals and IFACT, all the farmers that will be under that project, beneficiaries that will be under that project, are also to key into this special value chain. Why is the state government doing this? Is to create employment and ensure increment in the value of what the farmers would engage. We are all farmers in this project, and the vision of the governor is to ensure that everybody is to create over 1,000 employment under the cocoa value chain in Cross River State. And farmers under poultry value chain knows that there used to be a time that you produce chicken, nobody buys it from you because of what is called glut. And this used to frustrate farmers. So for the government to go into the kind of massive, huge investment is to remove all the barriers to ensure that when farmers are engaged in this poultry business, they get the value for it. That is why we now establish the chicken processing factory that is called the Calachika, to ensure that every bit of chicken you produce from your farm that is matured, Calachika will take it from you to enable you get back your money and reinvest. With this, if the governor said he's going to make over 1 millionaire before he leaves government in the next 2 years, the platform has been set. So it's left for you, the farmers in the state, to take advantage of all the value chains, which the poultry value chain is one of the strongest value chain that have commenced operation. You are all aware that since December last year, the government processed close to over 20,000 birds that were subsidized and given to sole to farmers, to all regions of Cross River State. People even came outside Cross River State to buy those chicken from Calachika. So the program have started in earnest. Now the challenge we have now is how to aggregate farmers in the same poultry clusters and see how we can fit the Calachika. So farmers too can also get value for what the poultry business they've gone into. We had the first meeting with farmers about 2 weeks ago, and we agreed that we're going to meet with the various heads of farmers. We're going to meet with the appeal cluster today and also with private farmers to agree on economic cost of production. We have 3 sections now. Number 1 is the clusters under the appeals. About 7 clusters have been ready, have been approved by World Bank. Other clusters will also be approved. As they come, we open up for the beneficiaries to go into farmers. Number 2 is a special anchor borrower scheme we are going to, we're already, our men are in the field, identifying viable existing farms that are going to participate in this special anchor borrower scheme. And we brief the government that for this scheme to be effective, let us only capture those who have existing farms. Because there's no time to get people to go and build small farms. Those who have farms that are existing, that at least can stock about 1,000 beds, should be the first persons, the first people that will be captured under this scheme. Thereafter, we'll give other people opportunity who have other small farms from 1,000 and below will be on the second phase. So we'll be able to feed this chicken processing factory that we call Calachika. So it's a synergy. For those under the World Bank project, appeals project, you are a product of this government. Because the financial agreement that was signed between the state government and the World Bank was that whatsoever input the state government gives you empowers you to go into poultry. As you produce, the state government take that product from you, so as to prevent you from the risk of not having a market to sell their products. That was why Calachika factory was established, and it is running very, very effectively under the direct supervision of the Commissioner for Industry and that of Agriculture. So we are here today to see how everybody can factor in. I don't want to see Calachika as a business that is different from yours. You are the producer. You are the one to be in the farm to produce these birds. After producing, what else do? You have a shore market where all your products will be taken and processed. And everybody knows how poultry business runs. Once you reach the time you are supposed to sell your bird at 7 to 8 weeks, and you don't sell the bird when they reach a table size, you keep them within that period, you are running at a loss. And it is that loss that the state government has intervened now by establishing Calachika to ensure that every bit of chicken you produce in your farm is being taken by Calachika. The model of this poultry is not only to produce birds for only the consumption in Cross River State or in Nigeria. We intend to export our chicken outside this country. That was why we brought big companies like the big birds and Jampur. These are international companies, world-class companies with a known reputs of being in this poultry business that are very successful all over into Cross River State. So I want to thank you for coming. It's going to be a give and take business that both you, the farmers, will smile. Also, the company that's taking this bird from you will also smile. Because in farming business, if you produce and you don't have a market for it, are you into business? You are not into business. So both parties must be flexible. It's going to be like a marriage of convenience. You understand what I'm saying? Yes. Because you know that also I'm a farmer. Yes. If my bird reaches 6 weeks, I don't have a market within the next 2 weeks, I'm in problem. I need to take the best out. And the opportunity will offer to us, these people who are around here, to ensure that the poultry value chain will be viable. So I want to thank you all for coming. I believe that the next 1 hour, 30 minutes to 1 hour should be done in this stakeholder meeting. So at this point, I want to thank the chairman of the Food Association of Nigeria for ensuring that all the members are here. And also to thank the SPC appeals for also making sure that all the beneficiaries under the appeals project are here. Other projects are coming. Under the IFAD project, International for Agricultural Development, about 30% of that project also reflects engagement of our farmers into food that will also supply chicken into Calachika. So I want to thank you and say a big thank you and you're welcome. Thank you very much.